What's up, everybody? Back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing a beer from the Southern Tier Brewing Company, and they're out of Lakewood, New York, and this is their 2X Stout. So they're calling this a Double Milk Stout. Comes in at 7.5% alcohol by volume, 55 IBUs at the time of review. This bottle is approximately 7 weeks old. So I actually picked this up at a local Wegmans grocery store because it was in a mixed 6-pack, $10.99, so under $2 for this bottle. And this is a beer I haven't had in probably well over, it's been at least 3 or 4 years. And I don't know, I was just kind of in the mood to grab this beer. I was like, you know what? An Imperial Milk Stout sounds pretty delicious, and I haven't had this in a while, so I thought I would review it. And yeah, that's all I know about it. Obviously, they're using lactose because it is a milk stout. Outside of that, don't know much about it. So we're going to see how this one is. Yeah, I really like what Southern Tier does for the most part. Their Blackwater series is my favorite, but you know, a lot of their 2X beers are hit or miss for me. Like the 2X IPA, I really do enjoy. Their 2X Miss, it's solid depending on my mood, but like this one, I remember enjoying it, not being anything crazy, but I do remember enjoying it quite a bit. So hashtag proper glassware, we're going to pour this right in to it, the Southern Tier glass, and we'll go from there. Anyway, pours out this really nice, really deep brown color. There are like ruby red / mahogany hints here at the bottom of the glass. When it was pouring out, it looked a bit darker. On camera, it's probably coming off as pitch black, but you know, that's how it goes. Has about a finger and a half of a straight up tan colored, creamy looking, very compact bubbles on this one. Looking really creamy, kind of what you'd expect from a double milk stout, I guess. Anyway, let's get a nose on it. So, I know I mentioned this in every single review that I do that has lactose, but more often than not, when I drink a milk stout or I drink a darker beer with lactose in it, I always get a metallic vibe. Yep, right here. Yeah, it has a very slight metallic vibe, not as big as a lot of other milk stouts that I've had, where it's just like, it's almost like, you know, someone dropped you know, some kind of metallic material in there. It's for me, though, this one isn't as big and pronounced as I typically get, and there's a nice slight hint of vanilla as well. On top of that, nice roasted malt character. There's a little bit of like a sweeter dark chocolate. I'm not going to say quite to the Hershey's special dark chocolate like Paul over PA Brew News likes when I say that, but yeah, it's just definitely a sweeter, like generic dark chocolate. A little bit of coffee, a little bit of like caramel, toffee, burnt sugar vibes. Slight hint of like a dark fruit. And there's like an earthy bitterness here too, kind of, you know, holding the beer back from being too sweet on the nose. Anyway, it smells honestly a bit better than I remember it. So let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. That's just a well-made, borderline Imperial Milk Stout at 7.5%. You can technically call it Imperial Stout. For me, though, and I know this is just my own opinion of how I perceive things in this puny brain. For me, when you say Imperial, it's 8% or higher when it comes to ABV. I know technically it can be 7.5. I know there's a discrepancy. For me personally, I look at 8%. So this is borderline for me Imperial strength. At 7.5%, the body is not thin. It is not thin. It's probably higher side of medium body, and I thought this would be a bit thinner, but it's not. The mouth feels slightly creamy, has some like soft and smooth nuances, but there is carbonation here. Like there is definitely a decent carbonation, like a moderate carbonation, which is fine. I think I would like to see a little bit more creaminess because they're using lactose and it is a milk stout, but whatever, the mouth feels fine. The taste, though, it's just really solid. There's more of like a roasted malt character, little bit of vanilla from the lactose, little bit of coffee roast as well. A sweeter dark chocolate, as I said, carried over from the nose. Pretty much the nose kind of translated into the taste, but I don't think it's as like rich and, I don't know, complex as the nose was leading me to believe it would be in the taste. It's very easy to drink. I cannot tell you this is 7.5%. I would guess it's like 6.5. Yeah, I mean, if you're in the mood for an Imperial Milk Stout or a Double Milk Stout that has some nice flavors, pretty easy to drink and relatively easy to get and readily available and reasonably priced. Like I said, I paid $1.83 for a bottle of this in a mixed six-pack from Wegmans. I can't imagine this beer by itself being probably more than $2, maybe $2.25 for an individual bottle of it. I don't remember if they sell this. If they sell this in six packs, you're probably looking at, 10 to 12 bucks. If they sell it in four packs, probably, 8 to 10 bucks. Regardless, I think value-wise, it's a pretty damn solid beer, and overall, it's just a solid beer. So as far as rating for the 2X Stout from Southern Tier goes, I'm going to give it a very solid 3.75 out of 5. This is kind of how I remembered it. I think I remember it being very similar. I remember this beer being thinner, so I'm very happy that the body and mouthfeel kind of are appropriate for what they're going for. I just remember this beer maybe being a little bit more, dare I say, bombastic. But maybe not. Maybe it wasn't. Again, I haven't had this in 3 or 4 years, maybe even longer than that. And yeah, it's a solid beer. If you're in the mood for an Imperial Milk Stout, give it a go, especially if you can find it for a reasonable price. Anyway, appreciate you guys stopping by for another beer review. And until the next one, cheers.